Okay, it's setting up meeting for Facebook Live. And here we go. Okay, we are live. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. I am here with Wilma, and we are going to talk all about, well, I'm not going to give away too much because I want you to share, Wilma, but she is launching an online boutique, and we're going to chat about marketing strategies for her upcoming launch. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we'll get right into your business coaching session.
Okay, so my name is Wilma. I am based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am launching an online boutique. It's called Curves by Her for my plus size women who have it hard time, because I'm also plus size. So when you think about plus size, it's very hard finding trendy, fashionable clothes for plus size. And when we do, I believe sometimes overpriced. So with my boutique, I wanted to do an affordable luxury online plus size boutique for my plus size curvish women.
Awesome. And are you making the clothes, or are you working with different vendors?
I'm working with different vendors. One of the things, the line that I'm coming out with is an active workout wear where it's going to be customized.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
So you'll get clothes and like customize that, like add to it?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. And if I can ask, how did you get started, or how did you decide to go to do an online boutique?
So one day I was laying in bed and I was thinking about if I've always struggled in finding something to wear, because growing, like I would say, like probably 5 or 6 years ago, I didn't know my body type. I didn't know any of that. So it would be hard. I would hate shopping. So, and every time I would go to Torrid or Ashley Stewart or Lane Bryant, it would be ugly clothes. It would be ugly clothes, like, no.
Like boring.
It would be boring and ugly. So I'm like, man. So one day I started to look on Pinterest, and I looked at different clothing types, different clothing outfit types, and they would put things together. So I think 2019, I started to look at the stuff that I like, put them together, and then go purchase my outfits based on that. And then I started to look on videos about body types. So then I thought about it, and I just laid there. I'm like, okay, I need to open an online boutique. I know it's not going to be easy, but this is something that I'm very passionate about, because I know if I'm plus size, there are many plus size women who are struggling in the same thing that I'm going on. So that's where it came about.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, congratulations on your new business. And I love that you are doing something that you've lived through, that you are living through, because when you put that kind of passion and purpose behind something, that will drive you no matter what, you know. And it's like right now you just said, I know it's not going to be easy, but when you have that behind you and that's the reason, it's like, it doesn't matter if it's easy, you're going to do it either way. So Congratulations on that. I love that. And thank you for sharing here with us today. So I don't know if you've ever done business coaching, but let me give you a little rundown of how it'll work, and then we'll jump right in. So you'll notice that I'll ask a lot of questions. My purpose here today is to just help you figure out whatever you need to figure out, brainstorm, or even just talk some stuff through. Sometimes that helps. Not sometimes, most of the time it helps to just have somebody to talk with, and to identify whatever that next step is for you to get this vision going. And whatever your next step is, I'm here to encourage you to do that and to help you see what's getting in your way and help you move forward. So with that said, what is the biggest thing that I can help you with today? If you had to put it down into one question, go ahead.
Okay, so one thing, so I would say is the marketing, because I'm not familiar with marketing, because I've already did my LLC. I already applied for my reseller certificate. I've done my research on vendors. I'm at a place where I'm not rushing to get to go purchase items, because I want to get quality items. So I'm taking my time on that part. So I've started working on the website, working on trying to get a web designer to design an effective website where it's easy access, informative, and very much accessible. So I would say it's the launching, not the launching, but the marketing and to getting the ads to converts your target audience to start buying.
Yeah. Okay. So there's my next question is, how much of your, like, of you as a personal brand do you want to infuse into your new business?
What do you mean?
You thought about that? Like, do you want to be, so there's different types of businesses. And when it comes to like selling stuff online, there's, you can focus on being like the personal brand. So people will know you, like your clients will know you.
Yeah.
And like, you'll be like the face of your business.
Of your brand. Yes.
And then there's like, if you think of the businesses or the sellers on like Amazon, we have no idea what those business owners look like, right? We don't know who they are, what they do. They're strictly a product-based business. So when I say like a personal brand business, it's somebody that, like, somebody will go to your boutique shop and have that, first and foremost, have that connection with you, and then purchase from you. Is that something that you've thought about? And do you have a preference? Okay.
I have thought about that to be the brand of my business, and also get brand ambassadors, but to be not solely be the brand, but be the personable. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So you do want to infuse like a little bit of you into this brand and business.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, good. So do you have like an audience already that you can market to, or are you starting from scratch?
I'm starting from scratch.
Okay. Perfect. This is so exciting.
It's nerve-wracking as well, because I don't know what to expect, because I haven't even launched my Instagram or anything yet, because I'm still like learning the ins and out about boutiques. So I don't want to rush anything. So I gave myself by the next month to at least launch my social media platform, where I'm able to start to gain customers, to have at least fill out the market email, so they can understand who I am and so forth.
Okay, I love that you gave yourself that deadline of next month doing your social, because this is so amazing that you're sharing this, Wilma. Seriously, thank you for being here, because I know that you are not the only person like in a situation where you're looking at this and being like, there's a million steps to do, and I don't know where to go, and I have to do everything. So just know you are not the only one. And anybody watching this, whether you're watching live or the replay, they are going to get benefit from it. So thank you. And with that being said, so you're right. There are a lot of components to a business in general. And then when you add the online component to it, it's extra. And then the boutique component of it, right? Then there's extra, because you've got your vendors, reseller, all this stuff. So the biggest thing that I can offer you is to take it exactly as what you just said. Take it like by chunks, by very, very small steps, because that way you'll move forward little by little, as opposed to like trying to do all the things in one. And then you're just going to stall. You're going to become so overwhelmed and just paralyzed that you're just going to stay in the planning phase. And then you won't move forward. So a great example of that is what you said with social media, that by next month, you want to at least launch your social media. That's a wonderful idea, because then after the social media and after you actually start interacting with people, then you can be like, okay, now I'm ready to maybe do the website, because you said you have already got all the other internal business stuff going, right? So then you can think about doing the website, and then you can think about, doing an email newsletter. Then you can think about doing ads, right? It grows, as opposed to being like, I'm giving myself 3 months to do all the things, because that, like I said, that's gonna just be very overwhelming. So with that being said, and knowing that you want to infuse some of your personal brand, the biggest part, or the very and that you're starting from scratch, something that's going to help you is to just start connecting with people, start building an audience. And when I say building an audience, that doesn't mean you have to have a website and an email newsletter and Facebook ads and all these things. You can start building an audience right now on Instagram or via Facebook, like in a Facebook group.
Okay.
Because what you want to do right now is connect with people with yes, potential clients, but you want to start building community. Because
Okay.
once you start building community, several things are going to happen. But the biggest thing that's going to happen is that you're going to hear from the word and exact words, from the mouth and exact words of your potential clients, what they're struggling with exactly.
Okay.
And you already have some insight, right? Because you said like you've struggled with this your whole life. You don't like the boring clothes options that are out there. You already do understand them, but building this community is going to allow you to learn even more about them and to learn how you can better serve them.
Okay. I like that.
And yeah. And when you build community and you're putting yourself out there as like, hey, this is a resource I found helpful for me, or this has helped me do this, or I created this to help you. You're connecting with people on that personal level as a personal brand, right?
Okay.
So when you do launch your online shop, you're already going to have a community that you can launch to.
Okay.
Because what I don't want to see you do, or anybody else that's, just starting, is to go and build out all of these things, build out this online store, build out the website, like order all this inventory, right? And have nobody to sell it to.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's going to do a whole other thing. And if you focus on building that community, on building that audience right now and connecting with people without, and I know this sounds like contradictory a little bit, without trying to sell to them right away,
Mm-hmm.
the better in the long run for your brand and business.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's basically like I've heard the buyer's process. So in order to, instead of just selling to them, you want to gain their confidence so they can know who you are. And then once they gain your confidence, their trust in you, they'll be able to, okay. And then they get familiar with your inventory and so forth. And then that gives them the opportunity on themselves because you've already given them the process and they've gone through that process. And now they're able to, okay, I'm ready to purchase, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And this trust, the process of building trust can take, depending on the industry and, end product and all those things, it can take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be, to somebody, a long time could be 3 months. For other businesses, it takes a couple of weeks. For some businesses, if the product is a higher end, it could take years, right? Mm-hmm. But and also somebody may not be ready to purchase what you're selling right now. Mm-hmm. But if they can stay in contact with you when they are ready to purchase, they're like, hey, like, well, I feel like I know Wilma because she like speaks my language. She knows what I feel. She knows what I'm going through. And there's just this automatic, not automatic because it takes effort on your part, but to them, it seems effortless because they're like, oh, she gets me. So with all of that kind of like on the table, is there a platform that you are more comfortable with or like more excited about when it comes to building a community or like starting to produce content to put out there?
Instagram.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. And you've used Instagram like on a personal level?
Yes.
And do you have like a active personal Instagram?
Yes.
And do you like, I know these are like super personal questions, but do you use it just for like friends and family, or are you kind of just open to posting? Like, is it public?
It's private, but I think I'm going to open it up.
Okay.
But it's private right now. It's like a private page, but yeah.
Do you mind if I ask how many people you have on your Instagram right now? How many followers or audience?
I believe it's in 1,000.
Okay.
1,000 people, more or less 1,200, about that much.
Okay. And that's amazing. That's fantastic. And do the people that follow you, whether you know them in real life or not, do they know about your business plans to open an online boutique? or
No, because I
okay.
haven't shared it. I only shared it to a few people because I believe when you share that type of information too soon, people, I wanted to keep out the negativity or why are you doing this? There's a lot of people already opening boutiques. So I've kind of not shared it until June. So my purpose was to start sharing it until like my birthday. June 30th is my birthday. I said, okay, I'm going to finally announce that I'm opening an online boutique. And I am going to go ahead and start, like you said, build a community so people could be aware of what I'm doing and start communicate with them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you mentioned that you wanted to keep out the negativity and have like not get those questions about like, why are you doing this? Like, I'm curious, what if someone did say something like that?
Well, I would respond to it. I would respond to it and give them my reason why I'm doing it. But for me, more or less, because this was something personal to me. But then again, I watched the video, and one of the things that I gained from that video, they said the worst thing you can do when launching a business is keep it a secret. And I said, you know what? That's right. So that's why I gave myself the deadline to get the small things, the major things in order. So my LLC, my certificate and so forth, and the major things out the way. Because I know then, okay, well, Wilma, you're already opening this boutique. Versus, okay, post it. And then I don't have my business structure license or anything. So I said, I wanted to give myself a deadline. Now that I've got all of those together, the major things, I can now, go ahead and announce that I'm opening an online boutique.
And the video that you watched that's so true, because it's part accountability and part doing the thing that's uncomfortable. Because anytime you're going to put yourself out there, especially as a personal brand, and this is something I talk about a lot in this group, design your personal brand. Like anytime you're going to put part of your vision, of your heart, of your passion, of your purpose out there, you're doing several things, but one of the things is you are opening yourself up to criticism. Like that's just a given. And it takes a very, it's a practice, and it's an ongoing practice of being like it'll hurt, it'll sting, it'll like piss you off, when you hear things or you just like feel people not being supportive, but it's part of what is that will happen. It's not if, it's when. And I don't say this to like deter you from putting stuff out there, or anybody else that's like thinking about launching a Instagram or a new business. I say this so that it's not like a shock or a surprise when it does happen. And it's kind of like, okay, well, that's fine, but you know why you're doing this.
Exactly.
And also to keep in mind that whatever anybody says is not a reflection of you. It's just their fears, like speaking out. If you said one of the things that somebody might say is, why are you doing this? There's so much online boutiques out there. That's a reflection in a lot of cases, not all the time, but if somebody says something like that, even if they're like close to you, it's a reflection of their fears being put onto you. It has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that you're not smart by doing this. It doesn't mean that you're like oblivious to competition. It doesn't mean any of that. This is like a little bit, I know that this isn't related directly to marketing that we're talking about today, but it's
no, it's fine. I love it. I need it. I love it.
Good. This is the stuff that if we don't like touch on this stuff, it doesn't matter what strategy, it doesn't matter what business structure or how much Facebook ad money you have. If we don't, as the personal brand, recognize these things and like prepare ourselves, it's the mindset stuff, right?
Correct.
None of those other things will work in the long run, because you are the driver of this business, of the vision. It's your job as the personal brand, as the business owner, to maintain that vision. And that vision, people will sometimes not on purpose, but they will try to taint it, to like take from it, to make it dull.
Correct. Yes.
Right. And it's your job as the personal brand, as the visionary, to keep shining the light on that vision. And the more we do the more we don't do things like post that post, launch that thing, because we're like, oh, I just don't want to hear it, or I just know that they're going to say something, the more we're allowing our vision to become dull.
Correct.
And I know that that's not what you want to do.
No.
You said you've been dreaming about this since 2019.
Correct. I've thought about it for a while because I've always wanted, because when I thought about this, I'm like, okay, Wilma, I remember like when I first got out of high school, I wanted to be a plus size model. But then I'm like,
Love
no.
that.
I'm like, no. Then when I thought about it, one of my best friends, she's a pageant. She's in a pageant, formerly Mrs. Florida. And she was like, Wilma, I want you to enter a plus size session. I'm like, no, that's not for me. No. So then now I'm like, okay, when I thought about the struggles in plus size and then helping build other women's confidence in what they wear, embrace who they are, there's everybody in the world is not going to be a size 0. Everybody in the world is not going to be a size 10. Everybody in the world is not going to be a size 16. So embrace your curves, embrace you. And for me, it's a passion for me, because when you think about some plus women, they're not there. You got them that's confident and they embrace who they are. Then you got those that are not, and they don't know how to embrace their curves. They're afraid. It's like it's a shameful to be a plus size. And people always bring the negative, because you're plus size, that doesn't mean you're not healthy, you're unhealthy. You're healthy, because I'm very healthy.
Yeah.
And then you have some people who are a size 6 and they are not healthy. So yeah.
So all of like everything you just said right now, these are the type of conversations that you can be having with your community, because people, not everybody who is plus size knows this or believes in this the way that you do. Like you said, not everybody is like aware that their size is not a bad thing.
Correct.
You're already there. So these type of conversations, this type of encouragement, this type of support is what you can start building, what you can start harnessing and sharing within your community. Okay. And as a what's it called, like a byproduct of you doing that, it's like, oh my gosh, Wilma happens to sell plus size clothing. We just had a full conversation about how I need to embrace my curves and like own who I am. And she sells plus size clothing. Like, you see how it started with the connection and not with the sale.
Correct.
And I just have to say, Corey in the chat box on Facebook said, oh my goodness, nail on the head, embrace yourself. Yeah. She responded that to you, Wilma. So now imagine you building a community and bringing everything that you've learned, your experience and your passion and your fire to that. The sales, the clothing, the product, the physical stuff, it will come. But well, number one, it starts with you maintaining that vision super, super bright. And when you put stuff out there, knowing that people are going to say stuff, they're going to.
Correct.
And instead of focusing on those things, you get to choose whether you're going to focus on that or you're going to focus on the person that needs your help. On the woman or the man or woman who I'm assuming, like, did you say it's going to be a women's boutique?
Yes. Women.
Okay. So you have the choice to focus on helping that woman who probably doesn't have that support in her life. That's where your focus can go instead of the negative comments or like the doubtful comments that people will share. So that's like your number one job, is to maintain the focus. Number two will be to focus on that community, to focus on building that community, creating like a safe place for people to be able to come and share and have these hard conversations about what it's like when people assume. You mentioned right now that sometimes people assume that because someone's plus size, it means that they're not healthy.
Correct.
To me, that sounds ridiculous. But some people have maybe grown up in an environment where like they think that's true, and they're putting themselves down for these things, and they have nowhere to turn. And
Correct.
if you are building this safe place for them, and you are leading by example and putting yourself out there and sharing your experience, your story, you're providing that safe place for them. And that is so, so wonderful. I had like 3 trains of thoughts right now, and they all just left me because I got so excited with what you were saying. Are you here? Can you still hear
I'm
me?
still here.
Okay.
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So let's go back to your Instagram post. You said your birthday is on June 30th and you wanted to start posting on June 30th. Remember in the beginning of our conversation, how I said like, to just beware of trying to do all of the things at once, like trying to do the website, the social media, the products, all the marketing, the business, the Facebook ads, all at once. It can paralyze someone. So what if, or have you thought about, instead of sharing, hey, I'm opening this online boutique, this is what I'm doing, what if you take it step by step, even with what you post on social media? So let me explain what I mean by that. So what if you start talking about like body confidence? What if you start sharing like cute outfits that you put together, and maybe sharing like parts of your story?
I like that.
And you can start doing this now before June 30th. And then you can just start building this community, start being that light in other people's feed, right? And when you are ready to say, hey, I'm actually opening up a shop, an online boutique, then you can share that. But that doesn't mean that you can't start having these other conversations that are super powerful and the foundation of what you're doing, just because you don't have everything ready.
I love it. I love it.
I already, like, even as you said that, it seemed like you felt lighter. Like, oh, I don't have to share everything.
I love it. That's very good. I love it.
Good. And are you already getting like some ideas of the type of content that you could share?
Yes, because as you were speaking, I heard do a poll. You know how Instagram, you're able to do a poll. You're able to do a poll. So I wanted to do a poll, and in there I wrote it down. I wrote it down. Where is it? What is a struggle as a plus size woman in shopping or fashion do you experience? So I wanted to do a poll, eventually condense it, but do a poll, and wanted to do that. And as you just mentioned, the body confidence and sharing outfits that I put together, and sharing pieces of my story.
Good. That's so good. And when we started this conversation, you said you want to know like marketing strategies. Well, you going out there and posting this stuff, this is part of you doing market research. When you go out there and you're doing market research and hearing, like doing that poll that you said, and you're getting that data, you're gathering that information from your potential clients, you're getting to know them more. That research that you're doing is going to allow you to then turn around and have powerful marketing strategies when you do launch.
Okay.
And everything that you just shared is fantastic. Those are amazing ideas. Because you said you had like over 1,000 people right now on your personal page. Like my coach and mentor always says, have you seen 1,000 people in a room? That's a lot. That is a lot of people. So why not start sharing parts of this vision? It doesn't mean you have to share it all and put it out there, because if you're still like working on the foundation of it, right?
Correct.
And so don't put all that pressure on yourself to have it all perfect and ready to go and in a neat bow before you put it out there. But you can start connecting now with those 1,000 people. You know, Instagram won't show your post to everyone because the algorithm and blah, blah, and all these things, but that's okay. You can still start sharing stuff. Something that came up for me as you were talking about like the struggles that you have felt, and you know that other women go through this. Sometimes on Instagram, so each platform is different, obviously, and they have like their people go to each platform for different reasons, right?
Right.
Instagram is a great tool for you to start using to, like how I mentioned, share outfits that you put together. Share like first of all, this picture that you have up as your background is gorgeous. Like, I don't
Thank
know
you.
if you do like makeup too, but my goodness, like, can you teach me how to do this? Because I need all the help I can get. So like all of these things, Instagram is perfect for that because it's visual. Instagram is so visual. Now, I will say though that it can work, but sometimes people hold back a little bit more when it comes to like sharing their story on Instagram because they're like, oh my God, everybody can see it. So if you like, for example, ask your audience to share like their vulnerable stories, they may not do it right in the comments because they're like, well, I don't know who's seeing that. So the reason I say this is because as you were talking about that, I thought about a Facebook group, a private Facebook group where, and you don't have to do this. You don't have to do anything that I suggest today. These are all just suggestions. We're brainstorming together. And in fact, I want you to go back and re-listen to this, to the replay of this, because there will be things that you missed the first time around. So a private Facebook group, and it's done in all industries, is a beautiful place to build a community where you are having conversations that maybe are like more in the private area, or where people can just be like unfiltered and just like connect on a different level.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, so like if you say like on Instagram, focus more on like the visual stuff, and you can share part of your story, absolutely. And if you don't have and you can invite people to join your free private Facebook group where you have conversations centered around confidence for plus size women or something like that. Something that you know would be powerful and something that you know that your potential client, your community like needs to and wants to talk about.
I love that.
And you invite people there. You're building, you're building your online presence on Instagram, and you're inviting people to your private Facebook group. All of this is not just a marketing strategy, but this is like real connection.
I love that.
Yeah. And this is all inspired from the way that you told your story about why you wanted to do this. You struggled with this. You found a way that helped you, and you've been able to put outfits together and feel amazing and embrace who you are. And now you have this vision and all these amazing ideas that you want to help other women. All of the strategies that we're talking about go with that. You didn't come on here and you were like, okay, I want a quick, rich scheme or nothing like that. That would be a whole different conversation. I'd be like, okay, I don't know if you're in the right business, but so all of this it will be not easy, but it will like fuel what you're doing, because I can already tell that you want to connect people you want to connect with people on a one-on-one level. You want to help people feel seen and embrace who they are. Do you notice how our conversation hasn't even been around selling clothes? And how powerful has it been?
Yes, I agree.
So the clothing part will be the byproduct. That will be like, you're the personal brand who's building community, who's doing these things. And when they are ready, they know that you will have this online boutique. And as you're building community and as you're creating content and putting stuff out there, you can work on doing the foundational stuff for your boutique. You don't even have to put that out there. When you're ready to share that, you can start sharing that. But I don't want you to feel that you have to do all of it at once and share all of it at once.
Yes, and that's great, because one of the things that I was struggling in, I've already bought my domain, and I have a Shopify online store. But my thing is, and I love how you said that, because now it take the pressure off of me of getting a web designer and get my Shopify created by June 30th. So now, okay, take your time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What's today? May 21st. That would be like less than a month and a half to put together a social media presence, a marketing strategy, a shop, figure out your shipping stuff. I mean, you can do that. Like if you are doing this 24 hours a day, and if you have a big team to help you put all this together.
Mhm.
But if you're not trying, if you still want to like sleep and rest and, take
Yeah.
care of yourself, you don't have to do it all at once. Business is ever evolving. Your personal brand will be ever evolving. You don't have to jump into it all right now.
Okay.
There will be times that you feel like, oh, why isn't this going faster? I want it to go faster. But remember, whether you do it now or whether you do it later, your reason, your purpose is still the same.
Mm.
So focus on that vision.
Okay.
And on that connection with people. And let me see, I just want to check in with the Facebook group. So you're getting some love in there. So after our chat today, rewatch this and then check out the love that you're getting in there, because you are awesome, Wilma, is what people are saying. And I agree. So how are you feeling about your next steps?
I'm actually now, after speaking with you, I'm okay. Because before I was like overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, did I make the right decision? I'm like, man, I'm overwhelmed. But by how you just explained it and broke it down, I'm feeling very confident.
Good. I can see it. I can feel it as well. And I can see your head spinning like, oh, I got this idea. Oh, and I could do this and I could do this. And that's so good. So we can ground this in some action before we wrap up today. You said that you're going to launch your or you were going to start posting on June 30th. Are you?
Well, now that I've spoken with you, I'm going to post before June 30th.
Yes. So when do you want to put together your first post where you're starting to introduce and integrate some of your new content into your current personal account?
I'm going to give myself 2 weeks.
Awesome. So today is the 21st. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be June 4th.
Okay, start posting June 4th.
I love it. So June 4th, you have 2 weeks to prepare that first post. And then also as like a pro tip, see if you can batch prep, like don't just prepare one. During the next 2 weeks, see if you can prepare a few more posts so that you can be consistent, right?
Okay.
And did you do the mood board challenge, Wilma?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
I posted it.
You did? Okay, I need to wait. Have I seen yours? I need to go back
and repost it. I'll post it on the Facebook Live.
Okay, actually, I'll go back and look at it, and I'm gonna, when I go back into to update the description of this live, I'll share your stuff on there too.
Because the only thing that I'm missing on mine is I wanted to add my logo and the fonts. But but everything else is there. It's just my logo's not there and the font's not there because there wasn't enough space. So I'm going to send an updated one because I updated it yesterday with my business name on the bottom of it.
So the mood board template is that particular template is not to include your logo or a business name. It's just for the colors and the words it's an exercise in like the feeling of the brand. So
I definitely do it. I did.
Yeah. So then you did it. You're good. You're totally good with that. So after this, come back to this replay and I want you to share. Actually, can you send me a DM with your Instagram handle? Because I'm going to share it on this live so people can find you. So send me a DM after we're done on Facebook, and then I will include that in the description.
Okay.
Yeah. So to wrap up today, Wilma and everybody else watching for those of you watching the replay, show her some love. And we are here to root you on and encourage you. You are going to prepare your first post with your new content strategies, and you're going to post it on June 4th, which is in 2 weeks from today. And you're going to focus on building community and connecting with people and doing all of the other business stuff in the background. And how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm so happy that we got to chat today. And I'm so grateful for you coming on and being so open and sharing about your struggles and your vision and everything that you're doing, not just with myself, but with everyone in the Facebook group. I appreciate you so much, Wilma. So definitely keep in touch. And then don't forget to send me that DM.
Okay, I'm going to do that now. So you want my Instagram?
Yeah, send me, or I'll follow up with you on DM after.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Wilma. I'm so happy that we got to meet, and keep it up
Yes.
because it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what you create.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this call. Thank you for taking the time out your schedule, because this was very amazing. Because at first, because I tell you, like I said, it was overwhelming because this is my first time into business. Well, I have a nonprofit organization, but in doing this is different for me because I'm learning the ins and out, and you made it much lighter.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy and honored to have been able to help you with that. Yeah, just be patient with yourself. We have to, as personal brands, a big part of this is, and a big part of making this sustainable is to extending some grace to ourselves. That's a practice. Because we're, we, especially if you're, for anybody that's an entrepreneur, which is everyone that's in this group, we have these big visions and we want them done like yesterday. And being patient with ourselves and with giving ourselves some grace, that's where the real work is at. So thank you for that feedback and for being here. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Bye, Wilma. Have a fantastic Friday and evening.
You too.
And weekend. Bye.
You too. Bye.